Hello everybody and welcome to another Transformers third-party review. In today's video we're taking a look at the STC-02 TYRANT. This is the TFC Toys take on the Megatron figure inspired by Don Figueroa's artwork that he did, much like they did with his interpretation of a Rolling Thunder Optimus Prime. They've taken his initial concept and made it a reality, giving us a fully transformable Megatron based on his artwork, and my goodness me, haven't they done a sterling job. Let's take a quick look around the box. We've got Megatron on the front, we've got his various different modes. On the back, on the side there, we've got his original mode, we've got his hyper armor mode, we've got the scout droid, and then on the back here we've got his helicopter, we've got the kind of tank variations here. All of these extra accessories that come with him, we can put them on or remove them as we see fit. And there we go, we've got the laser cannon, scout tank and gunship. Now, I've got these fingers crossed there. I've seen a few people with this in hand already and I was extremely excited. I've been excited ever since this was announced, and I've already seen a few people have this in hand, and my goodness me, it does not disappoint. And here we have him in his vehicle mode out of the box. Look at the absolute beast of a bot. That is outstanding, and that is pretty darn close to the original artwork as well. Love the fact we've got this massive cannon on here. These are optional, you don't need those sitting on top if you don't really want to. I mean, it's gigantic. Let's open up the canopies just so you can see what we're dealing with. But this thing is an absolute beast. I love the fact we've got rubber treads on that tank as well. It couldn't be any closer to the artwork if they tried, I don't think. Done an absolutely sublime job. I'm sure that's exactly what Don had envisioned when he was designing it. I mean, look at the size of it. These can fit MP figures in. Well, sort of. I think it's more designed for Diaclone figures. They would fit in lovely, but these are a little bit of a kind of squish. You're going to squish them in. But the size is there. But yeah, Diaclone figures are a lot more kind of flexible and bendy and slightly smaller, so I think that would definitely work a bit better. But that gives you an idea of how big these are anyway. Oh, look at those treads. Oh, that's sublime. For any of you who know how big the TFC Rolling Thunder is, this will give you an idea just how big Megatron is. I just can't get over it. It's freaking amazing. Let's take a bird's eye view. See how they square up. Really great pairing. Right, now from here we can convert this into the scout tank and plane. So just remove these. These are tabbed on here. And there's a circle tab which tabs onto the side. So I'm going to do the same with this side, lift that up, and that's going to come off. These are going to come off and come off. This untabs, like so. This then untabs from the cannon. There we go. This is going to come off, like so, and you're going to remove this cannon piece as well. Come on, off you come. There you go. This is going to flip around, line up and come down squarely. This comes on to these pegs and that sits on there like so. We can then bring down the landing gear and bring down the landing gear on the front. Hang on. Ooh. There we go. It's like so. And like so. This comes up, this comes up. These extend outwards. This comes up, this comes up, this extends outwards. Now put this to one side. Remove all of your extra armour. And basically these bits here are going to come untabbed from here. And they do the same at several points along here. So it's here, here, and same again at the top. It's easier when you come underneath, you can see exactly where it's detaching from. Once that's kind of undone, you can then lift this tab upwards like so, and then that's going to untab from the front. So you want to do that with both sides. From this position, these need to be facing upwards. He looks a little bit naked like this, doesn't he? Undo these, and much like we get with their Prime, these are basically shin guards which just go over. So let's just detach and remove those like so. Now we can bring those back in, tabbing them in together, and then using those same tabbing latches as earlier on. You've got that one there and this rectangular one here. These are going to line back up. There we go, there we go, and sit there like so. You can grab this cannon here. You just need to get this circle tab up. So the easiest way of doing that is to lift it up with this one, like so, and then pop this one in on top and bring that up like so. So it sits like this, and then our jet comes in and it can come and sit down like so. So there we have it in scalp formation. Treads still work, still got 3 of these kind of canopy sections. I've retracted this cannon here so it's smaller. Let's have a look at this kind of flight housing. Seat is much smaller. Doesn't really go in keeping with these. Maybe this is more of a drone, but this is more the size you see on the MP Seekers. But yeah, I mean it all kind of tabs in as it should. Definitely kind of looks the part anyway, doesn't it? Even if it's not as practical as I would like. There are various different modes we can also take just from this kind of scout tank. From here we could just add a couple of extra accessories, which is basically just a small armoured mode, and I've got a small section there from the long tank turret that now attaches to that circular cannon, giving him kind of a more compacted look. Now back to his base form, I'm going to bring up these hip skirts. The tyre treads are going to undo again. We seem to do this an awful lot with these. Good job, they're nice and robust, isn't it? So undo those. Again on this side, undo those like so. This is going to come down, this is going to come down, so it's completely flat, and then we're going to rotate this all the way around, and then this almost acts like as a handle. Just unplugs from here, unplugs from here. If you can, bring them up together because it makes life a little easier. It's going to come all the way up and all the way over, so it's at the back Oh, come on, come out together, come out in unison. There we go. So it's now completely flipped, and on the reverse side, you can then extend it as well, like that. These panels rotate around. Same with this side, rotate that around. There we go. It's a squeaky joint. It's actually a squeaky joint. I thought that was a ratchet on there. I'm not sure. Maybe there's just only one ratchet. This one definitely doesn't. Oh, I don't know. Not entirely sure. Anyway, you didn't come here for me to be playing all that noise, did you? This is going to bend and bend again. And you see here, we've got this tab here. And this tab here. These are going to rock. And you want to line those up. So they're going to push tab in and locate. So again, bending that using both of these joints. Come on. Two. So we are left so we're left with something that currently looks like that. That's in there nice and firmly. Then bring this panel in. That's going to sit in there like so. And our blades are going to come down. Each one of these is on a mushroom peg. You want to just slide that around, but they do have a tendency to pop out as you slide them around. So just give them a little push as you twist, like so. And then that's going to come down and slide on there like so. It's not too bad. It's not too bad. And we can bring those up, and then this can kind of come back down. This gun can be switched out if you see fit. They're all done on these single kind of tabs. You can switch out the weapons accordingly. But yeah, that is basically his helicopter mode. And I mean, Supercopter, I think, is kind of a mode. It's clutching at straws a bit. I switched out this bit for this bit, and I stuck these side panels on, but they don't really tab in far enough because of the hinge. So they kind of sit out a little bit too far. But that kind of really resembles animated Megatron. It's only taken me this far into the video to realise I haven't actually snapped these pieces into place, leaving them nice and tidy. There we go. Shame on me. I just what I mean. Look, they don't really tab in there as nicely as I think they should. But you know, that's definitely a thing. I mean, especially you could have them facing this way, couldn't you? And have those as kind of thrusters. Definitely an option. Anyway, let's strip these back. I mean, just look at how hollow these bits look like that. Right, strip these off. Strip these off. Take this off, like so. And you want to bring this piece back down. Oh, God, that is incredibly stiff. There we go. It comes to the underside and disengage these treads. Which he says may be easier said than done. Whew. They really get stuck in these ones. There we go. We worked them out. Right, there we go. Separate those. Separate those. Come around. Untab this piece. Untab this piece, because we're going to bring that back around again to where it was, making sure that these bits slide nicely upwards over these feet skirts. Split these legs like so. These are going to open up from the reverse, like this, and they are going to pull out and extend upwards. Like this, so that the knee is up like that. Come round to the foot, that's going to fully extend, and we're going to extend the heel spur panel. Bring these hip skirts down and around and flip those like so. These are going to come to the back. You want to 180 degree turn these up like so. Same on this side. 180 up like so. So that when we look at the back, we're looking at something that looks like this, with this at the top and the crosses on there like so. Then want to hinge that all the way in and bring that to the back like this. Starting to come together. You can untab the rocket, untab any weaponry that we have attached, untab these, untab these. This is going to come down and rotate, down and rotate. Bring the arm down. We can flip open this panel, revealing the fist. And rotate that around, closing that back off. Again on this side, bring this down, bring this around, flip down this panel. Come on, you're very stiff. There we go. Bring that down, give the fist a little rotate, close that back off. This is going to rock backwards. These are going to come around and rotate out of position and out of position like so. This then flips up. Basically the head is in here. Look, this section comes up and you're meant to flip this back, but I've got nothing to grab it with. There, this flips up, over, around, rotates, this goes back down, and so does that. And there we have him in his first robot form. Doesn't he look absolutely sublime? Really gorgeous look to Megatron. Love it. Absolutely adore it. I think I may even prefer it over their Prime. I didn't do a best of 2021, but this would this would have been right up there had I got it in 2021. I know some of you did, and my goodness me, what an absolute delight. Now I've got him in this mode, we can have a look at that amazing sculpt. Got some lovely light piping going on there as well. That's a really fabulous look for him. Just tilt that head slightly so we can see those eyes. Now we actually get a replacement head, which all intents and purposes I think is pretty much identical. The expression might be slightly different, but it is easier for me then to show you the little add-ons that I've got you can put over. That's a Cobra Commander style faceplate that we can put over there. So of course these are all based on G.I. Joe, aren't they? So in fact I think somebody said something about this looking very much like Destro. I can definitely kind of see that. And then we've also got these little accessories as well. So that kind of reminds me of the Cobra Commander they did. The kind of had the breathing apparatus. Then it also reminds me a little bit of Freezer's scout meters there as well. But either way, looks absolutely fantastic. I believe that's meant to be a microphone that's kind of across there, so we can talk and communicate. Still a fantastic looking sculpt, isn't it? Articulation wise, head can look up, down, left and right. We can tilt quizzically side to side. We've got ratchets on the shoulders, they can come up like so. We don't have any butterfly joints on those, but they do come inwards and outwards. We've got an extra hinge on that joint there. There's an upper bicep rotation. There is a double jointed bend on the elbow. There's a rotation of fully articulated hands. It's incredible. There's a waist rotation. There is an abdominal crunch in there. We've got hip skirts to the side and to the front, which allow for the legs to come this far forwards, all the way back. You do have to tilt these gearings slightly though, out to the side. Upper thigh rotation, not one, but two. Bends on the knee, but it's incredibly stiff. This second joint in the internal leg is incredibly stiff, and it does tend to kind of shift this outer skeleton. And then coming down to the feet, we've got up and down on the heel. No left and right on those feet, but we do have a nice pivot from side to side, so we can get a really nice stance. I don't know, it's just something about him, even in this mode. I adore it. And to give you an idea of how he fares alongside their prime, both in their kind of standard modes, here we have him. I mean, he is, I don't know, maybe half a head, maybe a fraction more taller. Then if we go to the top of those treads, I mean, you're looking, that's a really good size, isn't it? And to give you an idea of how they fare with other kind of masterpiece figures, still a smidge taller than Megatron. I mean, he's really got that kind of Cybertronian minor Megs kind of vibe about him as well, isn't he? It's just a cracking figure. Right, we're now at that stage where it's time to go super mode. So your first port of action, if we do the arms, just fold those up. These rotate around like so, and those are going to come tuck in, up and under into the arms, and then secure and close those off. Bring in this section. If you've got the weapons attached, detach them. This is going to come up. This actually slides backwards on itself like so, and then slides down into this void. And if you look, you've got this hole here, so that's going to tab in with that. This is going to come in and go over like so. Already added a nice little extension to that arm there, isn't it? So again on this side, red on the outside, tabbing in to that void there. This comes in and closes off. Our feet are going to come slide in and come and tuck up, and heel spurs are going to flip back inwards. Bring in the leg panel. There's that tab where the knee is, and a tab on here. That's going to come in. Come on. Slide in there. That's better. That's going to push, lock and locate. There we go. Fabulous. Bring the toe down. And same at the back here. There's this big heel chunk. Trail pieces tab over. And these are going to tab in on the back of these legs. That's going to come in. And you see there's a slot here and a tab here. They match up, and push, tab, and seal off the back of those legs. We chunk out his thighs by bringing in this section here and just pushing and tabbing that in. There's a hole on top of either shoulder. This is where these come up, and you're going to want to push this peg down into that retaining tab. compress the plane back down, so you've got the wings tucked in, the cockpit section folded back, and this section here, put those landing gear in. Make sure that this section is fully rotated around and facing outwards, and because it's a ridiculously small step in the instructions, don't forget to flip this panel out, he says. Oh, God, this is ridiculously tight. And bearing in mind, this is the umpteenth time I've transformed this as well, and it's still that tight. This is crazy. There we go. And if you miss this step, you can't put his cannon on. Then making sure these hinges are fully flat, so you've got all of this nice wide space down here. You can then slide this joint in, and if you look from the top there, that's going to slide in over this hinge and come in like so. Make sure those bits to the side, those bits to the side. We have this missile here, that's going to flip around like so. Now this is going to come and sit underneath his crotch like so. So it just extends that crotch panel, and then we can bring in our cannon, rotate these back around so they curl back inwards like so, and then you want to just slot those, and then this can come in on the shoulder. Although I believe that's the official transformation, we haven't have it open. Then you have the turret on there, I think. But there he is, there's Super Megatron in all of his glory. Looks sublime, doesn't he? Plenty of space there for a Decepticon insignia or a Cobra insignia, if you think that will work. He does look monstrous. He's a big chunky monkey. You can also flip open those sections that I attached to the back of the legs. They can double up as guns. They almost look a little bit like Shockwave when they're fully extended. You kind of stick those in his hands as well, but I do like to kind of have them on his legs to kind of bulk out the legs a little bit. But that looks sensational, doesn't it? Just comparing him to the original Megatron again, now there's a bit of a size difference. He's kind of dwarfed now, isn't he? But I mean, I love adding all of these extras on, but then doesn't it always make the head just a little bit too small? And here we have him alongside the Super Mode Prime with all of that kind of missile silo packed on the back. Still kind of bigger than him, but these two definitely look the bee's knees squared up against each other. I imagine these would look fantastic alongside a load of G.I. Joes or a load of Diaclone painted up like G.I. Joes. That would be tasty. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. Megatron in his super mode. This is a fantastic take on the character. I love they've just kind of taken somebody's art and made it an actual thing, and they've done a sterling job. I mean, there aren't many figures on the market that can do what this does. Some of his alt modes, etc., are a smidge questionable, but I think they've kind of jam-packed in as much as they can. I mean, there's a lot of parts forming when it comes to this guy, but I think considering it's kind of super armor and add-on parts, I think that kind of makes it acceptable. I mean, taking him from that tank mode through to the helicopter, his normal bot, and then into this crazy big super mode, I honestly think there's a lot of thought and effort gone into this. You can tell it's been made by fans, for fans, and they've done a sterling job. Really solid build quality, maybe not quite on par with their prime, but very, very close indeed. When you get all of this added weight on him, it's a little bit overbearing for some of the joints, like the thighs don't quite click in as nicely as I'd like when he's got all of this added extras on. But all in all, he is an outstanding looking figure and I highly recommend it. I'll include a link in the description below where this can be purchased. And until next time, from myself and the rest of the collectibles household. Until next time, goodbye.